A ceremony Tuesday honored 4 Alabama airmen who died in the Bay of Pigs mission in Cuba 61 years ago this week. A wreath was laid at the Birmingham gravesite of Thomas Pete Ray. Ray and 3 other airmen were with the 117th Tactical Reconnaissance Wing based in Birmingham at the airport. It was a secret CIA mission to overthrow dictator Fidel Castro. They were shot down and killed before that mission could be carried out. What's stunning is it took almost 2 decades for their families to be told the truth about what happened to them. And joining us now is Airman Ray's daughter, Janet Ray. Janet, it is a pleasure to have you here this morning.
Thank you.
The story you have to tell that we will condense into 3 minutes, it is shocking. You were 6 years old when your father died. What were you told? What were you and your mother and your brother told about his death?
The CIA told us that they were mercenaries and they drowned flying a plane in the Caribbean. They did not tell us the truth.
How did you know to ask more questions? Did your mother, I mean, you were a little girl at the time, and we do have some pictures. I want to put a face to your father's name. This is him there, and some pictures of your family. When did you realize that that was not true?
Right away I knew it wasn't true. My dad had always served in the military. He wasn't a mercenary. They made mistakes by saying things like, well, we saw the engine floating, and one of the widows, Violet Gray, said, engines don't float. So we knew immediately, it was right away. Plus, we were not paid by the U.S. government. We were paid by a CIA front company.
A fund, which if he had died serving the country, which we now know he did, that would have come from the government.
Yes, it would have come from the government. The government tried to deny it.
Why would they deny this? What was the basis that we didn't, so America would not admit to a role in trying to overthrow Castro?
Yes, I think everybody knew the United States was involved, but I think a lot of it was to protect the president. We need to destroy these men's reputations and make them look like mercenaries so no one will ask any questions.
And the mission failed, clearly.
Yes.
Castro stayed in power. Your father's plane, the aircraft, shot down, and he was shot and killed. Castro hung onto your father's body. He refrigerated your father's body. Why did he do that?
I think it was his symbol of hate against the United States, and it was his trophy to use. But I also know that my government knew my dad was there, and they didn't want him back.
Castro hanging on to him because he wanted proof that the United States had tried to take him down, where the U.S. was saying, no, we did not. You took on Fidel Castro. It took you 20 years, almost 20 years, to get your father's body back so you could give him a proper burial. How did you convince Castro to let him go?
Well, first of all, when I was 15, I started sending communications, and it went on for almost 10 years trying to get his body out. And I did any way I could. I also lobbied the United States government to help.
And he finally agreed. Castro finally agreed.
He said, I have the body of an American pilot, I will send him home. But every time we got close, he came up with a new demand. One was $36,000 storage charges, which I sent a mailgram and said I refuse to dishonor my father by paying a ransom.
Amazing. And we have some more pictures here of the aircraft. This is Fidel Castro outside of your father's aircraft in this picture right here. Finally, they released his body. Castro released his body. You were there at the airport at Birmingham, and he was given a proper burial.
Yes, I was offered that he could go to Arlington, and I said, no, he's an Alabama boy. He's coming home.
And he's buried right here in Birmingham. Thank you so much for being here. I don't know how many people know that story. I encourage everyone to read more about it, because what you did, what your family and those families went through, unimaginable.
Thank you.
Thank you, Janet.
Thanks.